Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody together. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody together. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Vrindavana, Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohana, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya
Vrindavan, Shri Gopinath Madana Mohan.
Jaya Jagannath Swami, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra.
Jai Jagannath Swami, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare
Jaya
Hare.
Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Gurudeva, Srila Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Srila Gurudeva.
Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaur Hari Bol.
पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की
जय
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
जय।
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So in the previous class, I was speaking about the divine and demoniac, and good association and bad association. Especially we were talking about how in bad association one degrades, isn't it? And then I was telling you about the the true Mahajans and false Mahajans also. Like we have true Mahajans like Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktivedanta Thakur, our Acharyas and all. Similarly, we had 12 Mahajans. You all know that? Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kumara, Kapilo, Manu, Prahalado, Janako, Bhishmo, Balir, Vyasa, Kivarayam. This list is given in Bhagavatam. 12 great Mahajans like Brahma, Shiva, Narada, and Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kumaras, Kapil, Swayambhu, Manu. So they are all pure devotees of the Lord. We have great Mahajans. So we have false Mahajans also. Who are false Mahajans? Those who are like Kamsa, Duryodhana, or Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, such kinds of people. So, the previous class we devoted our time in understanding the two types of classes of people, and I was telling about the crow class and swan class, isn't it? You remember that? So, and the modern times also there are false Mahajans and true Mahajans. Like, for example, Einstein said, Subtler is the Lord. In one of his letters, he says, Subtler is the Lord. He says, the Lord or the Supreme Intelligence beyond this universe, he is so great. He said, after my death, if I get to meet God, I will ask him, how did you make this universe so intelligently? Einstein makes that statement once. But Einstein hated the churchianity or the kind of, Christian approach to God where you say, repent or burn in hell, that kind of thing he didn't like. So he said God, when you talk about God, he is certainly beyond all the things that see, he must be the greatest intelligence. So there are many letters of Einstein, I can show you. Einstein makes statements in praise of the great intelligence, intelligent Lord. Similarly, Benjamin Franklin said, Lord Kelvin said, if you strongly think enough through science, you will be forced to believe in God. He says that. I have given these quotes in the DYS course, if you are attending that, isn't it? Many of these quotes. Can you say some of the scientists' names who were staunch advocates of God? Who? Yeah? Newton, yeah. Newton said, people praise me for some of my inventions, but they are like pebbles in the seashore. But God, what He has created is like a vast ocean. I am like a small boy in a seashore counting the pebbles. But God's work is much greater like that. He's a very honest scientist, Newton. Newton, Heisenberg. Heisenberg also, Schrodinger. Recently, I had gone to Bhaktivedanta Institute in Bhubaneswar. So they had put Heisenberg's statement there. It was written there. In science, when you take up your first sip of water from a glass, science appears like atheism, he says. But when you keep drinking, at the bottom of the glass, you find God, he says. This is Heisenberg. He says. Very beautiful statement. Similarly, Benjamin Franklin, Lord Kelvin, Heisenberg, Schrodinger, Einstein, Newton. So these are all on the side of true Mahajans, correct, no? Then there are false Mahajans like Stephen Hawking, who passed away in 2018. Yeah, Darwin. You have other false Mahajans who are misleading the world by semi-baked theories or false theories, correct, no? Like that. So you find both. So this was something we were discussing last time. Today, I will pick something which will be in pursuance and continuation of what we did last time. When you meet your friends, for example, when you try to preach Krishna consciousness in your own way, sometimes you find them protesting or opposing or quarreling or arguing or fighting. You can get into such heated arguments, sometimes with the best of friends also. And then you wonder how to convey this to them or how to avoid such things. How many of you have had such experience with any of your friends? You have had experience, okay. Anybody would like to share your experience? Give the mic. What you said, what your friend said, and you can...
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So my friends and I, it started out like a normal leisure talk only, but then it ended up reaching to the fact that many of them are, like, not many, but a few of them don't believe in God. So they started off by saying that, how did the world got created by um, yeah, Big Bang Theory, the World Soup, and all of that, and then they're like this staunch people who don't want to agree to the fact that God is behind some, like God is there, God exists also is something that they don't want to believe in. So then like, and I have a few friends who believe in God also, but then they are not exactly into the fact that God is you worship God to get something. It is more like God is there and then you have to worship him, or else he's going to punish you or something like that. They're not into the concept of bhakti, or that God is God reciprocates with you, or he's so they were not they're that kind of people also. And there are some who believe that God is actually a person, Lord Krishna is there and all that.
Okay.
And then
Mike is on.
and then many times there's a quarrel over why not consume.
Hey, battery is over, I think. I will change the battery.
Don't keep it. Oh, it's off. Yeah, it's on. And then they even actually my friend's dad also does not eat onion and garlic and all that. So but then he doesn't agree to the fact that why you should not consume onion and garlic and what's wrong in eating it. So then, like the conversation started off by me saying that onion and garlic, it weakens your nervous system and all that, and that is why pilots and all that are not recommended to consume it. All the scientific part of it, and then. But then he was not ready to believe it. He did not consider it practical because it was not something. He said that it was not something for a normal person. Okay, a pilot does not consume onion and garlic, or somebody who has to do something really crucial does not consume it, or something like that. But for the taste part of it, why should, like, for the taste, why can I sacrifice a little bit of this and that? So we always end up having a conversation around this.
Right, I understand. See, when it comes to onion, garlic, and all, see, if somebody is eating onion, garlic, it is not as serious a problem as when one is a die-hard atheist who doesn't believe in God. That onion, garlic fellow.
Yeah, he's a die-hard atheist. He doesn't believe in God at all.
Right. Then what is the point in telling him about onion, garlic? It doesn't matter anyway. Correct. Achha. So basically, he argues that why are you not eating onion? He asks you.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Now, there are boys like that. See, one important thing when we talk to boys, who is a correct candidate for us to talk to is one thing that we have to evaluate first. According to Sri Bhaksan Saraswati Thakur, in the 11th canto Bhagavatam commentary, he says that if there are 4 types of people we associate with, there is one verse which says, Ishware tat adineshu balisheshu dvishatsucha prema maitri kripopeksha yakkaroti samadhyamaha. He says a devotee comes across 4 types of people. One is Supreme Lord Krishna. You should know he is the object of my love. Ishwar. Then the devotees of Lord Krishna, they are my best of friends. They are very nice to make friendship with. And then the third category he says the innocent and non-blasphemous people. There are pious boys, innocent, non-blasphemous, and who are willing to listen to you and take to Krishna consciousness. They are people whom we should approach and give them some Krishna consciousness and bring them to temple, connect them, inspire them. And they are like the ripe guava. You have seen guava? Guava, you have seen yellow guava and green guava? Which one is easy to take out from the tree? Yellow. Just comes out when I pull it. And green one, does it come out? You have to twist and twist and twist and twist. Similarly, those who are innocent and non-blasphemous, they are like the ripe guava because they are good people. They have Daivi Prabhuti. Like last time I told you, Daivi Prabhuti and Ashri Prabhuti, correct? No? They are more like a swan class, not like the crow class. Then if you give them a Prabhupada's book, if you give them prasad, they accept. And they also appreciate you what you're doing, many of them. And they don't know, they may be ignorant also, but they're willing to learn. Huh? They're innocent and non-blasphemous. Then you can preach to them and bring them. And the fourth category are people who are atheistic, envious, crooked, and they are there not to learn from you anything, not to hear and then learn and grow and become a devotee. They are simply out there to ridicule you, they are there to trouble you, make a mockery out of you, or they're envious of God, envious of devotees. The people like that. That's fourth category. So, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, fourth category of people we should do upeksha. Upeksha means what? Keep them far away, don't go near them, but from a distance pray for them. Actually, if you pray for them to Krishna, that Krishna, please give him sadbuddhi to that person, give him good intelligence to that person. Someday he'll become a devotee. Then that person is gradually likely to get the benefit of your prayer. And also, by keeping him far away from you and not interacting with him, the result is what? You and him will not have heated argument. By that, you can be friendly. You can be friendly, you tell him, you walk your path, I will walk my path. And we don't interfere with him. And also, when we make an effort to talk to him about something good, he protests. Just like imagine if Yudhishthira goes and tells Duryodhana some good advice. Will Duryodhana listen? Duryodhana didn't listen even to great sages. Like, Markandeya Rishi, Narada Muni. So many other rishis came there to the Sabha. He heard all of them with one ear and left it with another ear. That means he's like a determined thief. Determined thief. Who is a determined sleeper? Anybody knows? There's a sleeper, there's a pretending sleeper. You know the difference? Sleeper means if he's actually sleeping morning, you shake him, immediately he'll jump up. He'll go for bathing. Pretending sleeper, he will turn to other side and go to sleep. Similarly, these people are pretending sleepers or real sleepers? Pretending sleepers. They don't want to get up. Nor is he interested to be preached to. Even if you prove to him everything that you are speaking, he is not in a mood to learn. So we just ignore those people. Upeksha, he says. So who are the four categories I told you? Krishna is first category. Devotees of Krishna. Innocent. That is the fourth one. Atheistic, envious, crooked and all. Yeah. So in this four categories, first two we know very well. They are spiritual, totally spiritual. First two, Ishvara and devotees. Lord Krishna and the devotees. So Krishna is the object of our love, and we want to improve our love, enhance our love. And that is the ideal platform of worship of Krishna. Like, there are four platforms of worship of Krishna. Anybody knows that? The lowest is going to God out of fear. If I don't pray to God, he may punish me or something, or he'll send me to hell or something. That's a very, very lower understanding. Like you find sometimes certain Christians carry a board in the hand saying that, surrender or burn in hell, something like that. So they preach a bit fanatically. Actually, Jesus came to give love of God, but he taught love of God. But some people who represent him, instead of representing him, they may misrepresent him. So they instill fear in the hearts of people. If you don't surrender to Jesus, you will go to fire and you'll be in fire forever, and this kind of things. It's a lower, very low level of preaching it is. And higher than that, like for example, in some religion there is a very strict rule that you have to cover your body. You cannot expose your body and all that. But yes, people will follow when you are watching them, but then they may go to the neighborhood country and do all kinds of things, correct now? Because fear is not a great motivator. Fear is a very, 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 very low class motivator. Nobody likes to be instilled with fear also. Like God is behind the clouds and hurling down thunderbolt to punish you because you are a sinner or things like that. But higher than that is a desire, which is very common. 99% of the boys also whom you meet, who say I am religious, they'll be in the second category, which is called desire or greed. They go to God out of greed. Like they say, yes, I go to temple. One Monday I go to Devi temple, and on Tuesday I go to Shiva temple, Wednesday I go to Ganesh temple, they will say like that. But the purpose of going to temple is what? Yeah, to ask God for something. Huh? Like in South India, I saw in one pillar there was a Lord Hanuman's murti carved. In stone they had carved Hanuman. They put a lot of makan to that, kumkum, chandan, everything, and people circumambulate that pillar. One fellow was doing it 108 times. He circumambulated. I thought, such a great devotee of Hanuman. And he kneeled down with his eyes closed, with folded palms. He was offering a prayer. I wanted to hear what it is. And he was telling, hey Maruti, please give me a Maruti car. He was telling. So that's what he was asking. After doing all that. So this is not an uncommon thing in India. People doing business with Balaji or with Hanuman or with anybody.
And Sai Baba.
Sai Baba also. That is one Visa Balaji, you know that? Visa Balaji they call it. In Visa. You can get passport visa there. So Ganesh.
I also have a story.
Yeah. Yes.
So actually it happened when like even he was there like revealing the basketball court. I have a new friend, he's like full Shiv Puran devotee and everything. So I don't think he knew that we had ISKCON. So he made a statement about ISKCON, and then like some small argument and stuff, and then like he wasn't believing in the starting also. Like he kept telling me that it's written in the Shiv Puran that Shiva like worships Vishnu also. He doesn't believe all that and stuff, and like he doesn't believe but like onion, garlic and everything. Say trying to do this, but Shiva is the personality.
Okay. Good question it is. It's a good question. I will answer the question. It's a very nice question. Yeah. Because there cannot be two different gods fighting for post. Actually, the answer is Shiva and Krishna are compared to curd and milk. You know that Kshiram Jata Dati Vikara Vishesha Yogat, we say, no? Sanjayate Nahi Tata Pratagasti Hetoho Yasham Bhutam Api Tata Samupaiti Karyat Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. The pastime that he is talking about in Shiva Puran, one time Brahma got some false ego. So Shiva wanted to rectify it. What Shiva did? He made announcement to everybody in the world. Anybody who touches my head, I consider him superior to me, he said. And then Brahma immediately wanted, because he was driven by false ego, he wanted to touch Shiva's head and say that I am greater than Shiva. So Brahma came there, but then Shiva started growing. And Brahma started flying up. And Shiva went on growing, up. Great heights he grew up. Shiva. Brahma couldn't touch his head at all. Brahma was chasing higher and higher. At that time, something amazing happened. In Shiva's feet, somebody was touching Shiva's feet, but digging the ground, somebody was touching Shiva's feet. Shiva immediately, imagine, for example, you are standing and talking to somebody touches your feet, what he will do? Immediately look down. Hey! And then Shiva looked down. Hey, who is that touching my feet? Who was touching his feet? It was Varahadev. Varahadev had dug the ground. And then when he touched Shiva's feet, Shiva immediately bowed. And then Varahadev touched his head. Like that. Then Shiva laughed and said, my dear Lord, whether you touch my head or not, you are always my master. He said, you don't have to touch my head and prove that you are greater than me. You are always my master. He said. So now some of the Shaivites, they say, because Lord Vishnu in the form of Varaha, he touched the feet of Shiva. So they say, who is God? Shiva is God because Lord touched the feet of Shiva. Lord Vishnu touched. Now Vaishnavas, they say, Lord, yes, he touched the feet of Shiva, knowing that Shiva is Vaishnavanam Tata Shambhu. So when I touch his feet, he will immediately put his head down. And at that time I can touch his head. Therefore, Lord Vishnu did like that. You understand now? They say like that. So now, whenever you take these type of pastimes, how to know who is God and who is devotee? For example, Arjuna is on the chariot sitting and Krishna is driving his chariot. So can you call Arjuna is God? But Krishna is serving him. Because devotee means servant. So Krishna is serving and Arjuna is sitting behind. Can you call Arjuna as God? No. Huh? We know Arjuna is servant. Because overall, if you study the scriptures, it becomes evident that Arjuna is always devotee of Krishna. And Krishna is the master. It's clear, no? Now somebody may tell you that Lord Rama worshipped Shiva before entering Lanka. Huh? Therefore, you can understand that Shiva is supreme and Rama is his devotee. But Rama also worshipped Samudra Devata also. You know that? Huh? Rama worships Vishnu in his own palace in Ayodhya. He and Sita, they worship Vishnu also. Now why does he worship? The reason I will tell you. Sita and Ram are called as Maryada Purushottam. Ram is called Maryada Purushottam. It's called Nara Leela, we call it. Huh? He especially came to teach the humans how to behave. Like for example, how he accepted Ekapatni Vrata. Only one wife he accepted, correct, no? How he dealt with his brothers, how he dealt with his father, how he dealt with Praja, how he dealt with servants like Hanuman. Huh? So he is coming only to teach Nara Leela, and he will not manifest his godhood. Huh? He will not manifest it, he will always hide it. Because he wants to behave like a human being. Huh? Like a human being. He wants to behave like a human being. Because he is coming to teach, he's called Nara Maryada Purushottam. How many of you have heard this term, Maryada Purushottam? Correct. He's teaching us Maryada. So if he is worshipping Samudra Devata also, Vishnu also, and Shiva also, how can you only take Shiva's example out and say that he worships Shiva, so Shiva is God? Correct, no? And also you should see many pastimes. How many of you know Shiva coming to see baby Krishna? You have seen this picture, I'll show you one picture. See here. You know, how many of you know this pastime? You have not heard this, no? Uh-huh. Yeah. This one is, what is this pastime? I'll briefly tell you. See, when Krishna appears in Nanda Gokulam, that is Yashoda holding Krishna, you see that in her lap. One day, it was in the daytime only, morning time only, you know, one Yogi Baba comes with the damaru, dama 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 dum dum dama dama dum dum, like that he plays his drum. Yashoda becomes frightened. She says that, my Lord, my child is going to cry, hearing this sound. You have heard people playing this? Huh? So then she came out and told the Yogi Baba that, please keep quiet. I'm going to give you roti now. I know why you are making sound. You must be hungry now. So she brought some big rotis, a dozen rotis and sabji, and packed, gave it to Yogi Baba and said, please go out of this place. I have a small newborn baby, tender baby. He will get frightened. But then the Yogi Baba said, I have especially come to see your baby only, see your Lala only. If you can kindly allow me inside to see him, I will see him, take darshan, and I will go away, he says. So she said, look at you. You are having snake in your neck. There are spiders crawling in your jata. And you have long beard, long hair. And you have got you have got trishul in your hand. You have got damaru in your hand. And you are wearing a deer skin. With all these strange things in your body, you look like a yogi from the forest. My child will get frightened. Please don't ask for darshan. Go away from here. So Shiva went away from that place. In Vrindavan, if you go, even today there is a place called Asheshwar Mahadev, which is not far from Nandigram hill. You will see that. So he went and sat there meditating on the Lord, praying that, give me an opportunity to see you, my Lord. Whenever you call me, I will come. Like that he meditated. Asha Ishwar became Asheshwar. And together, Asheshwar Mahadev. So in the later part of the day, Krishna started crying like anything. One old gopi came and said, hey, why your Lala is crying like this? Somebody must have put a drishti on him. Let me find out. She asked, who all came today? So one by one Yashoda said, Upananda came, that gopi came, this gopi came, somehow the Gopas came. So many things she said, so many people. When she said about Yogi Baba, the old lady stopped and said, that fellow must have put an eye on the child. Unless he comes, nobody can take away that drishti. So who can go and bring him? So all the gopis left in different directions of Vrindavan. One gopi, sure enough, she found him in the Asheshwar Mahadev temple. So she requested him, please come, Yashoda is calling you. So Shiva came very jubilantly. So when the door of the house was open, this is how it happened. When the door of the house was opened, looking at Shiva, the child crying, baby Krishna started smiling, like you see here. Not only that, he was jumping to Shiva, you see. Yashoda was taken by surprise. I thought this fellow will be afraid, but he is, both are smiling at each other. What is the relationship between them? And then Yashoda said, Re Re Yogi Nanda Bhavan me Braj me Vasan kijiye Jab jab mere Lala rove tab tab darshan dijiye. She's telling, whenever my Lala will cry, that time you come to give darshan. So don't go too far away, somewhere be around, so that we can bring you here. Shiva said, why somewhere around? I'll stay at your veranda only, he said. I'll stay just right in your veranda. Why? He said, if you give me his charanamrit and his prasad daily to me, I won't leave this place, he said. Today, if you go in Nanda Bhavan, just outside there is a temple of Shiva. Any of you have been to Nanda Bhavan? You've been, yeah, Vrindavan, you'll see that, even today. So, this is a Puranic story. You will find this kind of illustrations between Shiva and Krishna relationship. You will find that. There's another pastime you find, that pastime which I told you a few minutes ago, Shiva bowing down and then Varahadeva touching. That happened in one of the holy places. It's a Salapurana, it is written. So now the boy may say, in Shiva Purana, Shiva grew up and up and up, Brahma could not touch and Vishnu could not touch. Therefore, who is supreme, he will say? That's what he will say. Shiva is supreme, that's what he will say. But you can ask him, what is Lord Shiva's activity? Is Shiva's main activity samhar, destruction. What is Brahma's activity? Creation. And what is Vishnu's activity? Maintenance. You will see that. That means Brahma's role comes in the beginning, Shiva's role comes at the end doing pralaya. But in between, Vishnu plays the role, correct now? You will see that. And what deities are this? Brahma controls Rajoguna. Shiva controls Tamoguna. And Vishnu controls Sattoguna. So Sattoguna has steadiness. That is why. Then you can tell this pastime of Bhrigu Muni was commissioned by the sages once. To know who is the supreme, isn't it? So he goes to Brahma. Brahma he mentally offended by not respecting him. Shiva he verbally offended. And Vishnu he kicked him in the chest. So how did Vishnu respond? My chest is so hard and your feet are so soft. Maybe I should massage your feet, and also you have made my chest so holy that Lakshmi will be happy to reside in my chest as a golden hair. Like that he was telling. So Vishnu's tender speech, made Bhrigu Muni feel ashamed and he started weeping. He went back and told the sages. My Guru Maharaj used to repeat this statement. You all can repeat this. Once greatness has to be estimated by one's ability to tolerate provoking situations. Yeah. So your greatness has to be estimated by your ability to tolerate provoking situations. So amongst the three, who tolerated the most? Which tolerated. So when Shiva came to embrace Bhrigu Muni, oh brother, Shiva went to embrace. Bhrigu Muni said, oh, don't come near, your body is full of ashes and you have a snake around your neck. You are a long jatadhari. You are not very clean, don't come near. You also live in Shmashan. So don't come near. Purposefully, Bhrigu said. Bhrigu knows Shiva's greatness. He knows. Purposefully, he said to test him. Verbally, he offended him. Then Shiva said, What did he say? He took his trishul and chased after Bhrigu Muni. And Parvati Mata caught hold of his leg and told Shiva, please don't attack your brother, leave him. And Bhrigu Muni ran away, fled from there. So now some great acharyas have said that why Shiva did like this? Because Shiva wanted to prove Vishnu as supreme. Because he is Lord's devotee. Shiva can subdue his anger if he wants. He is called a Shanta Vigraham. Nirvairam. He is completely non-envious. The Shanta Vigraham means he is completely peaceful. So it's not that Shiva is angry, but Shiva behaved as angry so that Vishnu will be declared as the supreme. So he accepts Vishnu as his master. All of you repeat this verse. Nimnaganam yata ganga devanam achyuto yata Vaishnavanam yata Shambhu Purananam idam tatha. Four things are said in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Amongst the rivers, Ganga is the best. And amongst the Devatas, 33 crore Devatas, Lord Achyuta stands supreme. Who is Achyuta? Achyutam Keshavam. Who is that? Krishna, yeah. And amongst the Vaishnavas, who is supreme? Shiva is a Shambhu. And amongst Puranas, which is supreme? Bhagavad Purana. Because all the 18 Puranas, if you see, they teach you, if you have bad health, go to Surya. If you want education, go to Saraswati. If you want wealth, go to Lakshmi. They only tell you how to make life better in this world. But Bhagavatam tells you how to go from this world to that world. That is unique in Bhagavatam. Which means other Puranas teach you how to be in the jail, but have better comforts in the jail. Like you are saying, oh, it's very cold in the jail. Okay, we'll give you a blanket to put on. Oh, a lot of mosquitoes in the jail. Okay, I'll give you a mosquito net. You may say, oh, morning water is very chill. Okay, I'll give you a geyser. Everything will give you, but remain inside the jail. That's what other Puranas tell you. But Bhagavad Purana tells you, get out of this material world, go back home, back to them. So Bhagavad Purana is supreme. Purana idam tata. So there are many pastimes. You know another pastime, Vrikasura or Bhasmasura, who went to Kedarnath and performed, correct, no? Severe penances. And then when Shiva came, he was cutting his even head, he wanted to put it in the fire. Then he asked for Shiva for one boon. You know that? If I touch somebody's head, it should become broken to million pieces, correct, no? So Shiva said, why are you asking a strange boon like this? Why do you want to hurt other living beings? He said, no, I want this only. He said, I'll show you that.
Prabhuji, I have a question, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please tell me.
But like also like since like he is actually like a good Hindu with a pure devotee of Shiv Puran, but is like very strict towards Shiv Puran. Like me like if I tell these pastimes, he might as well not believe it. Like in fact, like be even more hateful towards.
No. This pastime should not be spoken to somebody who is envious, a person like that. But we should know it. It's for our sake. See, we can see Shiva. You are saying? No, it's not post. Shiva is beyond. Actually, Brahma and all the demigods are all post. Shiva is middle tattva. And then Vishnu tattva. Jiva tattva, Shiva tattva, and Vishnu tattva. You know this pastime? You all know this pastime? See, who can guess what this is? You see? Who is This is Ram Lakshman. Actually, when Ram Lakshman were, Rama was crying for Sita, the time when Akash Mark Shiva Parvati were going, after hearing some lecture from Agastya. But after seeing Rama weeping, seeing Lord Ram, both of them came to ground. This happened in Panchavati, Nasik. And Shiva offered Sashtanga Namaskar, seeing Lord Rama. But Parvati was just standing like this. Why should I offer obeisances? I told this first time, I think, when I came to Gachibowli. You remember? Some of you were there, I think, probably. But later on, Shiva said, if you don't trust that this is Supreme Lord, you go and test him. Then when she tried to test him by changing her form into Sita form, when Rama looked at her, he didn't call her as Sita. He told her, hey, Parvati Mata, where are you going alone? Where is Shiva? He asked her. So she felt ashamed. And then Rama showed her a Pattabhishek with Ram and Sita and Lakshman and Shatrughna, Bharat holding umbrella and fanning him, and Hanuman sitting at the bottom, and all Devatas showering flowers. And she was amazed by seeing that form. Sita is right here. Why he was weeping? Few minutes that darshan went on. Then darshan vanished. Again Rama was like this, weeping. So, in this way, Shiva is offering obeisances to Rama. At that moment, it shows he accepted Rama in his heart very dearly as his Lord. See, do you know this famous verse? Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane. This was spoken by Lord Shiva to Parvati. Then Parvati asked, Vishnu Sahasranam is so big. Can you tell me how it can be recited in a very brief manner? Huh? 3 times he said, Ram, 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 you say. It's equal to reciting 1000 names of Vishnu. Like that he said. She is meditating on Rama. Yeah, Vaishnava Nametasham. This is the first time I told you, Yogi Baba, coming to the door of Yashoda Bhavan, Nanda Bhavan. You're able to see? Yeah. Mm. No. Nah, this I showed you, right? That Shiva is the ideal husband. Always Parvati is asking questions and Shiva is answering. Mm. Also, Shiva accepted Ganga. Why? On his head, on his jatha, correct, no? Why he accepted Ganga? When Bhagirath requested Shiva, Ganga has to be brought from the heavenly planets down to the earth. Can you please kindly accept it, Shiva? Shiva considered nobody else on earth was qualified to accept it on the jata. Shiva was the only one, most mighty, powerful personality, Yogeshwar. So he considered, this Ganga is flowing when Vamana Deva had touched the shell of the universe. At that time, Viraja river washed his feet and came in. That's those few droplets which came expanded. And that is Ganga. You can see the picture coming from the top down. Then Shiva accepted it as Charanamrit of the Lord on his head. Yeah. You can imagine from very great height, it's pouring on his head. Shiva accepted it. Yeah. He is speaking in Ekam Ravan and Bhuvaneshwar. Lord Shiva is speaking Srimad Bhagavatam to Parvati. You know that pastime? There is a big ground where only one mango tree is there. Ekam Ravan, we call it. In that Shiva sits down. He tells Parvati that I can tell you this confidential Bhagavatam, but nobody else should hear. And then she says, no one else is around, only we two are there. She said, okay. So he went on telling, the third canto she went to sleep. It was a little difficult for her, Parvati. And like that she went to sleep. Then when he went to fourth canto, fifth canto, somebody was telling, who was that? There was a parrot sitting in the top. All 12 cantos got over. Then Shiva asked Parvati, how was it? She said, you didn't continue after third canto, you stopped it. Then he said, who said, Then he saw the parrot. Then Shiva took his trishul and chased after the parrot. Parrot flew away. And then it went far, 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 far and then entered into the mouth of Vyasdev's wife. You know that? And then it was born as Shukadeva Goswami later. That means Shiva is speaking what scripture? Srimad Bhagavatam. That pastime is also there, yeah. Here Shiva is sitting with Narada. Brahma is coming. They all are doing Bhagavad Charcha. She discusses on Bhagavatam along with Siddhas. That's how we say he's the greatest devotee. Because even great souls like Narada and Brahma want to hear from him. Right now? Muninam Gurum, Charachara Gurum, the word is used there. See here, all of you repeat this shloka, this is from Bhagavatam. Pumsaha kripayato bhadre sarvatma priyate harihi priyate haravati priyeham sacharacharaha tasmat idam garam bhunje prajanam swastirastu me. Please read the translation. Was the mic with you?
My dear gentle wife, Bhavani, when one performs benevolent activities for others, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, is very pleased. And when the Lord is pleased, I am also pleased, along with all the other living creatures. Therefore, let me drink this poison, for all the living entities may thus become happy because of me.
Which means, why did Lord Shiva drink halahal? See, I have highlighted in the Sanskrit. What is it? Sarvatma priyate Hari. I am drinking it only for pleasing Lord Hari. That goes to show that Lord Shiva is Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Like you are all devotees. So you do devotion service to please whom? Lord Krishna. So Shiva is also trying to please Lord Krishna. Correct, no? Isn't it? Anybody knows why Shiva moves around carrying the ghosts like this? Ghosts and spirits and hobgoblins. Anybody knows? You are able to see the ghosts below? And how many of you know Shiva lives in Shmashan? You know that? Shmashan means crematorium. Yeah. You know, not only he lives in crematorium, he wears ashes in his body from crematorium ash. Sometimes he wears a garland of skulls also. Why he does such kinds of things? You may be surprised. There is a reason why he does what he does. He is a Vaishnavana. Ashambhai told you. So in the crematorium, a lot of ghosts are living. So when Shiva goes there and wears this kind of skulls and puts the ashes in his body, the ghost thing, he's also a ghost like us. They think like that. They become friendly with him. He's just like Prabhupada went to hippie land and lived in Bavari. So the Bavari people, early days, they thought he's also another hippie like us. They were thinking, little did they know he's a Paramahamsa Mahabhagavat, pure devotee of Krishna. But Prabhupada's idea and going and living in Bavari was what? Why Prabhupada lived in Bavari? Two. Mike. Why he lived in Bavari? He took an apartment and lived in the Bavari area. You know that?
I don't know the specific reason. He stayed over there with.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you that.
Just coming from hippie, plus the fact that I was eat, so it's quite.
See, Prabhupada amongst the Bavari people.
He embodied spirituality, and his disciples wanted it. They said, "We want some of that. Whatever it is he's having, I want that." So this is the guru.
So many hippies were really in love with Prabhupada and in love with the devotees and considered the Hare Krishna to be the hippie religion at this point.
So you can see, Prabhupada is amongst the hippies. So Prabhupada was like an odd man out, correct, na? He was a pure Vaishnava from Vrindavan, wearing tilak and Timala, studying Bhagavatam and leading a purest of the lives. And those guys were all hippies into smoking, drinking, drugs and illicit relation, and sometimes dozens of partners they were changing. And you can see that Prabhupada lived amongst them. Why he lived amongst them? What is the reason? Like yours, yeah? Liberate them from their situation and make them Krishna's devotees. So he turned them all into devotees. Do you know that Prabhupada made so many devotees amongst them? Even Sankrishna Adhikari Prabhu said, even he was into hippie culture. He became a devotee. So when Prabhupada brought them to India in 1972 when he came, he brought them and many of them became world leaders later on. They became pure devotees later on. You will see that. So in the same manner, Shiva goes to live in crematorium. Why? Because his goal is to take these ghosts and spirits with him, make friendship with them eventually, and he will carry them with him when he moves around in the evening time. If any man, woman are uniting in the evening for begetting children, he will put a ghost into the womb of the woman as a punishment. Because man and woman are supposed to, when they want to beget a child, they are supposed to come together only at night. But in the daytime, somebody is mixing, a husband and wife are having such kind of union, then he puts a ghost in their womb. So it's a punishment for the family, because when a ghost takes a body in that family, the ghost is going to trouble them. Correct, you know that? Like ghost. And for the ghost, it's a gift for the ghost. Because ghost, why it's a gift for the ghost? You got which body you got? You got a human body now. So for the ghost, it's a gift. For the family, it's a curse. Because the ghost, when he gets human body, when he grows up, he will create trouble for the parents. Some parents say that, what kind of ghost has come and born in my family is creating so much trouble. Some parents say like that. So, in this way, Lord Shiva is called as Ashutosh or Parama Vaishnava. He gives ghost human bodies. That means He takes the most fallen souls and gives them the most exalted position. Correct, no? Like Prabhupada did to hippies. Like that. Yeah. Yeah, Shiva joins Brahma and Devatas to pray to Lord Vishnu for the sake of Mother Earth. Shiva also goes with Brahma. This is Shiva giving mercy to Prachetas. Huh? Who are the Prachetas? 10 sons of Prachanabari king. Huh? See, this is called as a Nishkapata Kripa. See, Shiva has a dual role. With Vaishnavas, he will behave like a Vaishnava. And with other fellows who come to him for material benefits, he will behave like a demigod. Even all of you also, like here, many of you are wearing dhoti kurta now when you come to temple. When you go to school, you will behave like a ordinary boy with your friends, certain friends who are not devotees. So you all agree you have two roles. One a devotee role, one is like a student role in the school. You may not expose certain boys to your devotional practices. Yeah? You go with Tilak to school. Okay. That's good for preaching. Huh? Yeah. But there will be certain boys, like he was telling now, a few minutes ago we were talking, isn't it? They protest against your practice, everything. So then you don't talk to them about devotion service. You say, okay, you do what you want. You leave them like that. So Shiva has a double role. Huh? With devotees, he talks Krishna Katha with them, like with Prachetas. And then with people like, this is also Prachetas, mercy without cheating. He gives them mercy. And this is pastime of Bhasmasura, I told you. Yeah. Yeah. You know how this happened? Yeah. And then on the way, when he's chasing after Shiva to touch Shiva's head, why he wanted to touch Shiva's head? Do you know that? Huh? To? Okay, after turning Shiva into what he wanted to do? Huh? To test his boon, that's one reason. There's another reason. To take his post means what he wanted. To take away his wife. He wanted to take Uma, Parvati away. So he thought, if I finish Shiva, then I can get Parvati. That was his ill intention. He chased after Shiva. So at the time, as you said, one of the Purana says, Lord Vishnu came as a Mohini and she was dancing very beautifully. So he got attracted by her. He said, hey, can you marry me? He asked her. She said, I can only marry a dancer like me. He said, but I don't know dancing, he said. But she said, I can teach you if you want. And she started teaching him. When she would do like this, he would do like this, and she would do like this. She would do like this, he would do like this. Finally, she did like this. He also kept his hand like this. And that is how here he is seeing. When he touched his head. Like that, he has finished. Correct now? You got an idea now? So that is also a pastime of where Shiva is, chased by this Kasura. So there are many pastimes like this. You will find, see, Shiva is the protector of the dhams of Lord Hari. Wherever you have Krishna's temple, Vishnu's temple, you'll find Shiva's temple also. Here you see, Dwarkadish, Mandir in Dwarka, very close to that is Somnath temple. Correct now? Similarly, you find Ranganath temple in Srirangam. Very close to that we have Rameshwaram. Like that you find it. Okay, Shiva praying, protect Prahlad and all. Okay. Then exactly if you want to know, Shiva is a devotee of Sankarshan. Sankarshan means Lakshman or Anantashesh. See, when Krishna Balaram expand as in Rama avatar, when Krishna becomes Ram, Balaram becomes Lakshman. Similarly, when Krishna expands as Vishnu, Balaram becomes Shesha, Anantashesh. So Shiva is exactly a devotee of Shesh, or Balaram. He's a devotee exactly. That's why he chants this mantra. Om Namo Bhagavat Mahapurushaya Sarva Guna Sankyanaya Anantaya Abhyaktaya Namayati. This is actually offering it to Lord Sankarshan. Why? Because there's a connection you can see. Like Shiva is keeping a snake in his neck because when he sees a snake, he remembers Anantashesh. He can easily meditate on Anantashesh when he looks at the snake. It's like he gets a Leela Surti by looking at the snake. Not only that, Shiva also Namaste astu bhagavan Vishveshwaraya Mahadevaya Trayambagaya Triburantagaya Trikalagnikalaya Kalagni Rudraya Mrityunjayaya Vishveshwaraya Namaha. Like that in the Yajurveda it is said. So here it says, Kalagni Rudraya it is said. From Ananta Shesha's mouth, where Garbhodaksha Vishnu is lying below the universe, it's like that fire emanates. And that's called Kalagni Rudra. That means Rudra connects with his master Ananta and they both destroy the universe. So that's why, because Ananta also does samhar and Shiva also does samhar. Like that. So that's why Ananta is his master. Ananta Shesha is his master. In order to remember him, he has a snake around his neck. Shiva teaches Prachetas how to worship Lord Vishnu. That's the Rudra Geetam. The fourth canto you will find. Shiva only teaches that. See, Rudra Geetam is all about Vishnu description. See, he's doing samhar. Be careful about Mama Maya Duratya. You know this pastime? To cut it short, I'll tell you, in the Samudra Manthan Leela, Mohini Murti came, you all know that. She served all the Amritam to the Devatas, correct? No? So Devatas didn't look at her with any kind of attraction. They saw her just like one sees a mother, like that. Whereas Asuras were all attracted to her, and that's how she cheated them, correct? No? But at that time, Shiva was out of station. He was not there. He was not in their pastime. Samudra Manthan. He just drank alcohol and he went away. But later on, Shiva came to know. And because Shiva had drunk alcohol, he became very popular. So all the devatas came to bow down to Shiva and thank him. And all the Bhutaganas of Shiva, they became very proud. All the devatas are bowing down to our master. So our master is great, so we are also great. They were all thinking like that. Tumse badkar kaun, tumhare bhakton mein humse badkar kaun. There's a song they sing like that. So Shiva thought that all my Bhutaganas have become very proud. How to curb that pride? So he wanted to perform on pastime. So he went to Vishnu and said, Sir, I didn't see your Mohini Murti pastime. Can you show me that form? He asked. And Vishnu said, that's a very form which can bewilder anybody in the world. Shiva said, I don't mind, please show me. So when he showed that form, Shiva ran behind the Mohini Murti form, as you see here. And he ran through the hermitages, ashramas and other places where, and also all his followers. See, we glorify our master as drinker of alcohol. Now he is going after Mohini Murti. So their pride was diminished. The pride of his associates, Anuchar, that was diminished. And also, one important thing to know for you is even Indra was not attracted to Mohini Murti. How can Shiva be attracted? Tell me. So Shiva's attraction is in Yogamaya platform, not in Mahamaya platform. So we are in which platform in the material world? Mahamaya, yeah. Mahamaya means illusion. It's a material illusion. And Yogamaya means spiritual illusion. What is Yogamaya? Lord put Shiva into this situation by which Shiva accepted that and he ran after Mohini Murti to teach the world the danger of attraction for the opposite sex. For that. Otherwise, Shiva was never bewildered. If Indra is not bewildered, how can Shiva be bewildered? Think about it. You understand the point? Yeah. So in this way, Shiva is a great personality who is very adored by all the devotees. He is worshipable by all devotees. We are not anti-Shiva movement, foolishly people. We all seek blessings from Shiva, he being the topmost Vaishnava. So I showed you about Shiva today, elaborately about Shiva. So you can be aware of these things. These type of pastimes you can be aware. Now, most of the boys who argue with you on Shiva and all, they are just seeing in one corner, one scripture they are seeing. You should see a total picture when you see from multiple examples I showed you like this. Yeah. So now, if he is in a mood to hear, like I was a follower of Shiva also. I was Om Namah Shivaya, I used to chant in the rooftop almost 15 years or so. So later on, I was praying to Shiva, please give me what is best for me. Then Shiva connected me to Krishna's devotees eventually. You will see that. There was a Narsim Mehta in Gujarat. You heard about Narsim Mehta? Narsim Mehta he was a very great Shiva devotee. Very advanced devotee of Shiva. One day his sister-in-law She joked about him and said, "You simply are doing meditation and eating and sleeping, not doing any work at home." She said, "Why don't you get up and do some work?" So he became very annoyed. He said, "I'm leaving the home." He left the home and went to forest. And he went to an Shiva temple. In the mandapam, he sat there in meditation. 10 days, he didn't eat anything. He didn't drink any water. He didn't sleep. 10 days he was in meditation. 10th day, Shiva came. Shiva, there is a movie also on Narsimha Mehta. You will see that. You can find out. It is there on YouTube. So Shiva came and said, "Oh, what? You are fasting like this, doing severe austerity. What do you want?" Then Narsimha Mehta told him, "My dear Lord, I am very fed up with the way my relatives treated me, so I became angry, so I did this. Now you give me what is best for me." Shiva said, "You want the best in your life? Come here, I'll take you." So he took him from behind the bush. He showed, Krishna was performing beautiful rasa dance there. Actually, I had saved that once before. I'm not able to find. Oh, the range is very low. I'll just check it if I can get it. So, when Shiva showed that Krishna's darshan, Narsimha Mehta was so overwhelmed with devotion. From that day on, he became a pure devotee of Krishna. Now he has written thousands of songs on Krishna in Gujarat language. You will see that. So, Pranav? Okay. Where is that? Oh. This is in Gujarati, but there was one in Hindi also. So you will see this. I think range is poor, huh?
महान श्री कृष्ण भक्त आदि कवि नरसिंह मेहता का जन्म गुजरात प्रांत के जूनागढ़ शहर की समीपवर्ती तलाजा ग्राम में उच्च कुलीन परिवार में हुआ था। बचपन में ही साधुओं की संगति के प्रभाव से उनमें भगवान श्री कृष्ण की भक्ति का उदय हुआ और भजन कीर्तन में ही उनका अधिकांश समय व्यतीत होने लगा। परिवार के सदस्य उनके भगवत भजन को पसंद नहीं करते थे। उन लोगों ने इनसे घर गृहस्थी के कार्यों में समय देने के लिए कहा, किंतु नरसिंह जी पर इसका कोई प्रभाव नहीं पड़ा। एक दिन उनकी भाभी ने उन्हें ताना मारते हुए कहा कि इतनी ही भक्ति उमड़ी है तो भगवान से मिलकर क्यों नहीं आते। इस ताने ने मानो नरसिंह जी पर जादू कर दिया हो। वह उसी क्षण घर छोड़कर निकल पड़े और जूनागढ़ से कुछ दूर एक पुराने शिव मंदिर में बैठकर भगवान शंकर की उपासना करने लगे। उनकी उपासना से प्रसन्न होकर भगवान शंकर प्रकट हुए और इन्हें गोलोक ले जाकर भगवान श्री कृष्ण की रास लीला का दर्शन कराया। नरसिंह जी रास से इतने ज्यादा तल्लीन हो गए कि उनका हाथ भी उनके हाथ से जलती हुई लकड़ी से जल गया, तो भी उन्हें ज्ञात न हुआ। भरण पोषण के लिए कोई छोटा मोटा कार्य करने के कारण नरसिंह जी के परिवार में कभी कभी उपवास की स्थिति भी आ जाती थी। उनकी पत्नी ने उन्हें कई बार कोई कार्य करने के लिए कहा, किंतु नरसिंह जी का भगवान पर दृढ़ विश्वास था कि भगवान सब कर देंगे। कहते हैं कि उनकी पुत्री कंवरबाई और पुत्र श्यामल दास के विवाह की संपूर्ण व्यवस्था भगवान श्री कृष्ण ने ही स्वयं की थी। जब ये भजन गाते थे तो भगवान स्वयं सुनने आते थे। एक बार नरसिंह जी का बड़ा भाई वंशीधर नरसिंह जी के घर आया। पिताजी का वार्षिक श्राद्ध करना था। उन्होंने नरसिंह जी से कहा, कल पिताजी का वार्षिक श्राद्ध है, कहीं भोजन मत करने बैठ जाना, बहू को लेकर मेरे यहाँ आ जाना। काम काज में हाथ बटाओगे तो तुम्हारी भाभी को आराम मिलेगा। नरसी जी ने कहा, पूजा पाठ करके ही आ सकूंगा। इतना सुनते ही वंशीधर बिगड़ गए और बोले, जिंदगी भर बस यही करते रहना। जिसकी गृहस्थी किसी सेठ के दान पर चलती है, उसकी सहायता की मुझे कोई आवश्यकता नहीं है। तुम पिताजी का
There are many
श्राद्ध
things, there are many things I said, but you understood the past time now. Narasimha became a pure devotee of Krishna. Right? Shiva gave him the darshan. Similarly, you heard about Chandidas. Huh? Chandidas, naturally Chandi means what? Durga. Huh? He was a Durga's devotee. But Chandidas' brother was a pure devotee of Krishna. Huh? So one day what happened, Chandidas' brother took one flower from Chandidas' garden and offered it to Krishna. So when Chandidas came to know, he was very upset. Hey, how can you take flower from my garden and take it for your Krishna? So he became angry. So he complained to his mother, that is Durga Mata. Durga said, why are you upset with your brother? In fact, Krishna is my master. In fact, after he offered to Krishna, if you give that flower to me, I'll be even more happy, she said. From that day on, Chandidas became a pure devotee of Krishna. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quotes Chandidas' verses also. Mahaprabhu says Chandidas is a pure devotee of Krishna later on. He became a pure devotee. Many examples. I told you Narsimha Mehta, told you Chandidas. Anyway, coming back to our original point, I told you Ishwar and Bhakta and then the Balisheshu. Balisheshu means innocent and non-blasphemous. And Dvishatsu means envious, atheistic, envious and blasphemous people. So out of the four categories of people, first is Lord, you love the Lord, you befriend the devotees, and you preach to the innocent and non-blasphemous. And fourthly, keep away from the envious and pray for them from a distance. That's the best thing you can do for them, correct? Now, amongst those who argue with you, not all of them may be envious and blasphemous. Some of them may be genuine also. So therefore, you can test in the beginning. Is his questions inquisitive? And I can help him get out of his queries and he'll become a devotee? Or he is simply doing Vitandavad. You know what is Vitandavad? I will tell you the meaning of Vitandavad. Vitandavad means what? He is arguing with you not because he wants to learn from you. He is already convinced that I have to push my opinion down the throat of this fellow. He's thinking like that. Like Prabhupada gives example. Once there were two scientists. They were having an argument that some particular item can be cut with a scissor, one fellow said. Another fellow said, no, only with a knife, he said. So he said, knife, he said, scissor, knife, scissor. They were sitting on the bank of a river. So this scissor wala scientist, the knife wala scientist picked up the scissor wala scientist and threw him in the river out of anger. So that scientist, even after drowning in the water, with two hands, the hands came out and showed the two fingers. So scissor, he was selling still, even after drowning in the water also. So Prabhupada says, the Vitandavad doing people are like that. You know, a person convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. Who can repeat this proverb? A person convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. Yeah, which means even though you have given substantial amount of proofs, he will still say, no, I am right, you are wrong. He will say like that. Like for example, in South India, sometimes, Pahlavans, Pahlavans? They have big mustache like this, big two balls here, hair balls. Like this they have in South India. And they do Malyutta like this. Sometimes one of the wrestlers, he catches the other wrestler by the neck and he throws him on the ground, puts him on the ground. And he makes his mustache touch the sand. And then when that fellow comes up, his mustache is completely, smeared with sand. And then this fellow will ask him, do you agree now that I defeated you? He will say, not yet, he will say. That means even after you put him on the ground, he will still not agree that he is defeated. You understand? Now, some boys are like that. So do we want to preach to them? Huh? No. Why to preach to such people? And waste our time. Because they are not here to learn anything from you. Our time is very precious also, correct? Should we waste our time with people who are envious of Krishna, blasphemous of Krishna, who are not interested in Krishna, who waste our time? After 1 or 2 hours of talking also, they remain like a dog's tail only. Like a dog's tail, you put it in a pipe like this for 10 years and you take it out, just goes. Some people will never change. So we say, okay, you talked a few minutes, you understood that he's an incorrigible fellow. Matirana Krishna, Parato Svatova, Mito Vipatyeta Grihapratanam. Prahlad Maharaj says, Grihaprata people are determined thieves. They are not going to change, so don't waste your time. On the other hand, there are some boys who may apparently argue, but they are good boys. An example I'll tell you. When Abhay Babu met Bhaksan Saraswati Thakur along with Naren, he came from a cultured Vaishnava family. So both of them offered namaskar to Bhaksan Saraswati Thakur, correct? After that, when they got up, immediately Bhaksan Saraswati Thakur, seeing these young English-speaking boys, he gave a lifelong instruction for Abhay Babu. What was it? Why didn't you take the message of Lord Chaitanya and preach it in the Western world in English language? He gave him that. For that, did Abhay Babu immediately agree? What did he say? Give the mic to him. Yeah. Okay. See, you all should read the Prabhupada one volume edition, Leelamrita.
Probably after Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said that, Prabhupada argued saying that we have to undergo independence. He was a follower of Gandhi and like the independent movement that time. So he's like we should first free our country. We should we should first free our country and
Precisely. Give him an applause. See, he said, our country is under foreign rule now. Who is going to listen to our message of Vedic wisdom in the Western world? We are considered a country which is under subjugation of the British. Correct? Now, who will listen? So he asked her. So to that, Bhaksan Saraswati Thakur took that question and beautifully answered. He said, Mughals were here, they went away, British have come. And when they go, maybe Chinese will come, Pakistanis will come. Why do we waste our time waiting for, foreign rule to be taken away? Our message of the Vedas is not only for one class of people, it's for all the people all over the world. So he said, now Krishna consciousness is emergency, it cannot wait. And it is culture of the soul, love of God, soul's love for God. All over the world we should preach it. And he said, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu movement is the most harmless movement. Because here, the Vaishnavas who are wearing this Urdhva Pandra Tilak and who are having this Kantimala and who chant the Japam, the Hare Krishna like this, and they are followers of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they study the scriptures, they are most harmless species in the world. Why? Because he said they won't cause harm even to an ant also. They won't put their shoes on an ant also. Because they know in the ant's body also there is a soul, they know that. And they never unnecessarily become angry. They are not malicious towards anybody, any creature. They are not greedy. Their goal is to serve the Lord in the spiritual world. They are not competing with anybody in this world. So he said that, there was never a time in the past when there were followers like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's followers, and never shall there be anybody in future such a purest followers of Lord Chaitanya. So this message should be taken to the Western world. And that boy, Abhay Babu, was completely convinced. When he was going down the staircase, two things happened. One thing he said, I was very happy that Lord Chaitanya's message is in the safe hands of this great personality, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Plus, he also said, on that very day, I accepted him as my spiritual master in my heart. That was 2011. 2022. Correct? 2022. That was, is it 2022? Actually, 2022 he met him, and then 2033. Sorry, not 2019, yeah. 1922, and then 1933.
He again met his spiritual master and said, how can I serve you? 1936, his guru passed away after that, went back to Godhead. And Prabhupada fulfilled his guru's dream, correct, no? So Abhay Babu was apparently asking a question, but he was in a open mood to listen. So he went with khadi dress. He was a Gandhian. Now from Desh Prem, he went to Krishna Prem. Huh? He got, in that one meeting, he got that elevation. Correct, no? So just see how powerful it is. That means all the arguing boys cannot be labeled as envious or blasphemous. That is why in the beginning we should see. Like I asked my Shiksha Guru, Devamrit Prabhu in those days, is God personal or impersonal? So he understood that I have read Ramakrishna Mission, Vivekananda books and other things. So he told me, God is impersonal and much more. Like that he said. Then I asked, what is that much more? He said, that you will learn in the future classes. And what was that much more? Personal. That he explained eventually. So we have to very maturely present philosophy to the people when they're asking question. Like one of you said that if somebody is in Shiva follower and they are not happy with calling Krishna as supreme, you have to be very careful in handling them. Correct now? And in the same manner, somebody is an atheist, he says, Big Bang Theory, I don't know, everything came from nothing. He argues like that. It's not very difficult to defeat such bogus theories. For example, you can ask him, okay, you said there is a big bang in the beginning of creation and the whole beautiful creation has come. And look at the flower, how it's blossoming in the morning. Look at the fruit, how it's ripening very beautifully. Look at the nightingale, how it is singing very sweetly. Look at the peacock, how it is dancing very beautifully. Look at the rainbow, how marvelous the rainbow is. So all these beauties that you are seeing, look at the beautiful people, beautiful children. Look at the beauty in this creation. So do you mean to say from a bang such beautiful things can come? You can ask him. If he says, yes, from bang it came. Okay, let me start a small bang construction company and put one dynamite in one empty ground, and from that beautiful buildings with 40-story or 50-story buildings should come. Because you are saying beautiful things come from a bang. So he says, yes, it may come. He will say, now show me one now. Tell him. You put a bang now. Put one bang, small bang, and show me something wonderful coming out. You take your Diwali cracker. You've seen that? Red color, this thing. Put one. Yes. So anything wonderful comes out of that? From a bang? And not only that, whenever there is a bomb blast in the railway station or the airport, what's the first question you will ask? For example, you heard there was a bomb blast in the train. How many died is one thing you will ask. Survivals, yeah?
How much damage?
What happened? These are all secondary things. First thing you will ask is, who put the bomb blast? Is it LTTE? Is it, what terrorists are they? Are the terrorists from outside India? Or they are from within India? Which group is it? Correct now? Because the explosion it doesn't happen on its own. Somebody causes it. Correct now? For that matter, nothing happens on its own. Everything is caused. Everything has a pre-arranged situation. Just like you want to enter into airport, the door opens. Correct now? You ask a child why the door opens, child can't say. But you know very well there's a sensor path being blocked. Therefore the door opens. You put your hand in the wash basin, water comes because the sensor path is blocked. So it's a pre-arrangement. It's not by chance. So you can ask him that you are saying from Big Bang such wonderful things have come. Show me one. Produce one in front of me. Put some bomb blast and show me something wonderful coming up. Yeah.
Prabhuji, they recently disproved Big Bang Theory. It got disproved recently.
Okay, if you have that link, you can send me. Yeah. You can use it also.
It's been probably 2-3 years ago. It's been disproved.
No, there are many theories. There are 20 theories. If you go to the Google and search for universe, scientists themselves say none of these theories are accepted. They say that these are all, what do you call it? Yes. Assumptions, and also these are suggestions given by different scientists. They cannot confidently say that this is it. But they are just giving some conjectures. maybe this, maybe that, maybe this. So we can, without bringing, anything from religion, God and other things, you can still argue from their own grounds also. You see, one thing, very important thing I want to tell all of you, if you are, prepared sufficiently in your knowledge to defeat him, then you can take up that argument with them. But if you are not very confident, you are not very clear, then what happens? He will call some of his friends and he will tease you, he will ridicule you, he will try to overpower you. And then if you don't have sufficient knowledge or information, then he will overpower you and you will feel uneasy. You understand, no? Therefore, actually, these are all very simple things we can, when people argue about such kind of things. Prabhupada also gave argument. Prabhupada said, how did all the life come about? Say, you have a father. He had a father. He had a father. How many of you have seen your grandfather? You have seen. How many have seen your grandfather's father? See, two of them have seen that. They have seen. So, but others haven't seen your grandfather's father, but you are sure that he existed. Correct, no? Then if you see grandfather's grandfather, anybody has seen? They haven't seen. But you are sure he existed. And then above him you see, one father must have been there. Above him. If you go up. Ultimately, all these fathers in your line, they came from one living person or from a stone chunk. Living person. Correct now. If somebody says, no, they came from a stone chunk, tell him, take the stone now. Produce one grandfather now. You can ask him. Because there is not a single evidence that from matter, living forms can come. Challenge. Proper like challenge. You know the book, Life Comes from Life? There is a book. So my request to all of you devotees, this is the age in which you should read Prabhupada's books like Life Comes from Life. Or there's another book called Hare Krishna Challenge. And you should read Prabhupada's Leelamrita. It's very, very important. Do you have any reading group where every day some 15 minutes you read some book? Yes. Who is reading that book?
Not every day. In like holidays we used to do it like every day. But like now all the brahmachari were discussing like a time in which they also can join our meeting and like they can like help us read.
Okay. So if we read about just 10 minutes or 15 minutes a day, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And you should read Leelamrita, proper Leelamrita.
Yeah, I used to read in the holidays. Me, my dad, my brother.
Yeah? Is it? Very good, yeah. So the one volume edition is very good. First we can finish the one volume edition. Yeah? Finished, huh? Very good. All 7. Really? Amazing. Very wonderful. He has read 7 volume edition also. Amazing, very good. So if some of you have read, others haven't read, then others can read the 1 volume edition. And this book we can read, like Hare Krishna Challenge, that book we can read. And Life Comes from Life, very nice. And also SSR, Science of Civilization. Prabhupada gives very good arguments. So from Prabhupada we can learn. How many of you have heard morning walks? You heard? Prabhupada morning walks. There also, yeah, here and there we have. So in our future meetings, I will do some Prabhupada speaks out with all of you. Very interesting. So Prabhupada teaches us how to learn to argue against the foolish arguments made by the people. Very nicely Prabhupada gives, yeah. There's a book, yeah, very nice book. You have that book with you? Correct. There are many books like that. Nature's IQ is one of the very good books. There is Darwin's Secret Identity, that's another book. And Hidden History of the Human Race, that's another book. There is a Forbidden Archaeology, that's another book. There is a book called as Human Devolution. He says humans were all devatas like Brahma and others. But now we don't have evolution, we have devolution. We have become degraded. He says there are many books like that. So we have to prepare, equip ourselves. So let me summarize what we did today. 4 types of people you all understood. The Lord should be treated with love. Devotee should be treated with friendship. And innocent and non-blasphemous we should reach and bring them to Krishna consciousness. And amongst those who are argumentative and envious, generally we keep away and pray for them. But some of them may be arguing, but they may be in a mood of learning also. You have to find out. So one of the easiest ways to deal with them is first you give them some prasad and give them some kirtans. Give them some Prabhupada book to read, like Coming Back. Coming Back has very nice things. And also Science of Self-Realization type of book we can give them. Or Discover Yourself we can give them, correct now? Or you have device PPTs. You know where is it link, you know that? I'll just show you, it's very... in that if you just go, see, tell any of your friends, go to this. Yeah, this is Radheshyam Das. Immediately it comes. Tell them to go here. See, go here and put DYS, that's all. See, immediately it comes. If you just put DYS, discover yourself. Or type it, discover yourself. All the session 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is the old one, this is the new one. You know, discover yourself 1 to 8. So, in this way, this is one thing they can hear. There is another course also I want to tell you. See, self-development course. This is very helpful for many boys. Many of them ask you many questions about this. See, yeah, if you self-development course, if you put church book, is it correct? Or you should put self. Does come? See, the whole thing has come now. 10 sessions are there here. Self-awareness, self-care, self-management, self-discipline. I think somebody was asking about self-discipline last time. Who was that? Yeah. Self-discipline for regulated life, self-respect, self-reliance, overcome inferiority complex, give up self-righteousness. See, 10 sessions. Just put self-development course, it will come. So 3 courses. DYS, self-development course, and then another one is very simple. Just put game. Oh, sorry. It went into this thing, I think. This one? Huh? This one? This one? This one? This one? Okay. Now here, okay, here, just put game, that's all. Just click it. Here, see, if you go only find game, is there only game anywhere? Anywhere? You found it? No, they have to tell you. Found out or you didn't find? Only game should be there. Is there? Here. Click that. Immediately you get 73 sessions, you see. Anybody can go through this. Go through, discover yourself, and then this game, that's all. Each of the session, if you, like for example, Passport for Happiness, you just click this box, you get the lecture. You get the video lecture, you get the booklet. You get any session. You see? You immediately get it. So I have made these things very easy. PPTs are available. Videos are available. Everything is there. 73 sessions totally. So your friends, if you give them, they will go through it. Samadhana. So in this way, you can introduce people either to Prabhupada books or to this, videos. And then you can bring them to temple. Say, nowadays Govindas open also, you know that? You take them to Govindas, they'll take. Any of you want to celebrate his birthday, you can celebrate here. Govindas, call your friends, correct now? That's one of the ways to introduce your friends to temple. They'll see the darshan, then they see the Govindas. You can also give them kirtans also. So there's many things you can do. So any questions, or I can conclude with this? We will speak more about this. Today, considerable time we devoted on Shiva. So that PPT is also available. If you go through the game sessions, position of Lord Shiva, there is one. There you will find it. If you click it, you get the PPT. If you want to show it to your friends, you can open the PPT and show them. Yeah? Yeah, the mic, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, Prabhuji, there's one of my classmates who said he liked God. So I wanted to know what he meant by that. And like, he said that every day he does meditation and he likes watching Mahabharat serial and other stuff. And like, so that's the kind of person who's pious and innocent. So they should be preached to.
Correct. That's true. Yeah. I forgot, I didn't cover all the four. I said for lowest platform is fear of God. Higher than that is desire. The oh Maruti, give me Maruti car I was selling now. That is desire. Higher than that is called duty. Some people feel that God has already given us sun and moon and rain, water and all necessities of life. So we should express our gratitude to Him. So that's why we say fear, greed, gratitude, love. The fourth platform is love, like Sudama's love, Pandava's love, Prahlad's love, like that. So the boy whom you said, even if he's on second platform also, he has some desires also, but he has some faith in Mahabharata and other things, he's a good candidate. So he is likely to pick up. Yeah. If you bring him to programs, he'll become devotee. Yeah. Yes. You have to give him some basics. Therefore I showed DYS and all. If he sees DYS, picks up very nicely, he finishes all sessions on his own, then you can bring him here also. Yeah. And anybody else? Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah. You have a question? Yeah. You were telling about one boy, I think, is it? Same
No,
person.
Prabhuji, I think there was one more boy who I gave him a chanting bag. He was chanting for some time, but then after the some time he stopped.
Oh, he's chanting one round.
Yeah, he like chanted it for I don't know how long, but now I recently asked him and he said he doesn't.
And why he has given up? Because you have given him the right thing, but along with that you have to give philosophy also.
Yeah, it was like many years ago, and like I was also new that. So.
Okay. Actually, all of us need two things. There is religion, there is philosophy. Like for example, in the morning, half of the day you sit in the classroom, teacher teaches you theory, and afternoon you go to the lab and you do practical. So religion is like practical, like chanting Hare Krishna, dancing, taking darshan of the deities. That is like religion. But then right now we are discussing philosophy. This is like the theory class. Inside the classroom you sit and read the books, read the shlokas, and that's like theory. You need both. We need theory or practical. Which one you need? You need both. So you have given him the practical, but you have to give him the theory behind practical also. Because when you are a young boy growing beyond the 10th standard, you need logic behind why should I do what I am doing. Correct, no? Yeah. So continue the theme, and I will tell you some of the commonest type of arguments that boys bring, the newcomers bring, and what response we can give them. We can discuss about that. And we can also discuss some Prabhupada speaks out also. Prabhupada, how he tackles, questions. You will see that. Okay? Can you do a few minutes, Kirtan? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare महारानी की, श्री श्री गौरनिताय की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, समावेत भक्त वृंद की, कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. So in these classes we are discussing these things. Why? Because you all are Krishna Bhaktas, but you are interacting with the outside world. Correct, no? So how to successfully deal with the outside world in such a way that you can preserve your own faith and your devotion, and at the same time, you don't take association, but you give association. So next class we will continue. This is really very interesting to hear from all of you. And one or two I could hear. He spoke up very nicely today. And then he spoke up also today, I think. And who else? One more, I think, spoke up. You also spoke today. So like that, we can also hear from others and continue. And I will also bring one Prabhupada conversation next time. We will see how Prabhupada deals with new